it looks like there should be an anti-gravity elevator, but it's locked down.
Hello,
I'll
everyone.
need you to connect to the data stream again. I'm really sorry, 1K. I know it's a risk, but I think it'll be worth it.
And welcome back to the Talos Principle 2.
Have you seen Miranda's design for a transport system that would connect all the labs to the machine?
It's amazing, isn't it? I think she's really excited about showing this place to people one day. She also kept asking me about what kind of monuments we could build, to really transform the landscape, show the possibilities.
But her capsules only fit one person.
It's just the first iteration. Give her some time. She'll figure it out. Remember how many mistakes we made in the beginning, even with all the blueprints we had?
But that's not my point. It just worries me that she lacks context. Her imagination is incredible, but it's still limited by what she hasn't experienced.
Would it have been better if she'd been raised in New Jerusalem? If her mind was limited by self-hate and decay? If all she could imagine was sitting around ignoring the universe in favor of self-righteous solipsism?
No, but I don't know.
Sorry. You're not wrong. We can't stay hidden forever.
Okay, yeah, I need the red. What was that puzzle? Centrifuge. Okay. Now, what is over here? Is it? Yeah, it's the Golden Gate.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough, irritating, and it gets in my ball bearings.
They had a Star Wars Attack of the Clones reference, the I hate sand line. Ooh. There's something here? No. The riches. From selective archive documents. Getting rich was the worst thing that ever happened to me. See that now, at the end, when the inside is useless. Not being poor was great, no longer having to worry all the time, being able to afford the best doctors, being able to go on holidays, being able to take care of my mother. But being rich, it just isolated me. It changed every interaction with every other person because suddenly I had the ability to change their life, fix all their problems, and they knew it. And I knew it. A simple choice on my part could take away so much of their pain. Every interaction became infected by this inequality between us, and it made me bitter. It made me feel every relationship, even with family, was transactional. I was desperately looking for some genuinely human experience, but I seemed excluded from that now, and it made me resent everyone. What I didn't see, what I only see now as I'm dying, is that I could have used that money for good. All of it. I don't mean giving it to some NGO run by other rich people. I mean really using it. I loved movies. How many indie movies could I have financed? How many books could I have gotten published? And how much could I have built? Just built. Not another villa for myself, but things that would benefit civilization in general. Hell, I could have just given it away, made all those lives better, taken away that pain. And if at the end of the day I was only left with enough money to be upper middle class, so what? At least I would have been the person I wanted to be. Resource wealth as such has no value. It only matters in terms of the ability to act. But what made this ancient human so unable to act? It can't have been a personal failing, as most people of similar wealth acted the same way. Perhaps the answer lies in scarcity, or a system built on it, naturally optimizing towards resource accumulation, historical circumstances, not individual sin. But I have read about rich ancients who did act differently. They were rare, but they did exist, though it is possible for people to defy the will of history. From Trinculo. From Trinculo to Athena. It's all a joke, isn't it? A giant prank perpetrated on all of us. The goal, the founder of the simulation, I don't even think you exist. I don't think biological humans ever existed either. What nonsense. I bet these messages just go to the mayor's inbox, straight to the recycling bin. You all suck, LMAO. Day 676. After the chaos of the last few months, quiet has returned to the city. I suppose we're calling it a city now, although this small collection of dwellings, inhabited by a mere 25 people, seems to barely deserve that designation. We'll have to come up with an actual name soon, I suspect. After the first 1 or 2 decades, calling it the city is going to get a little bit stale. Everyone has an opinion, of course. It's the talk of the town these days. I'm personally hoping that New Alexandria will win out in the vote next week. Although I suspect Elohim's legacy carries the most weight. Byron came up with some silly suggestions like Constantinople, Very New York, and Robot Paris. Hey, Dog Nozzle. 5358.
This one seems to be corrupted. It's almost like something tried to delete it as you were downloading it. Pandora, maybe.
Okay. On to puzzle number 2 here. The passageway. Oh, whoops. I'm finding it pretty good so far. It lacks... Ah, okay. It seems to be lacking. We'll see how it does right now, but the puzzles aren't ramping up as much as I would have wished they did. Okay, counterclockwise, I believe, yes. I mean, I'm still enjoying it, and there are seemingly, from what I understand, a number of endgame optional puzzles that should scratch that itch. But that being said, I am really, really still enjoying it. Oof. Okay. So that needs to... That can't go on the turntable. That needs to go here. But yeah, like, this is the game I've played the most of recently. It is incredibly good. It may not...
I spotted the lab with the drone, sending you the coordinates.
It may not have quite the same impact, I'll say, as the first one, but that's being unfair to this, comparing it to the first one. This is still, it may not quite reach the heights of the first one, at least it hasn't yet, but it is still incredibly good. Yeah, I've been in a puzzle mode for a while. Like, on my Steam year in review stuff, oh, okay. Mm, okay, gotta get through here. Okay. But yeah, my Steam, like, year in review stuff, it's a lot of puzzles. Okay, how do I keep this thing open? Yeah, I don't know anything about Lorelei and the laser eyes. I've heard the name, but that's about it. I'll put it on the list. I got a whole bunch of other stuff I'm either working on or planning on doing. Hey, I think I get it. Yes. Yeah, those things are accumulators. They can hold color that you put into them. Yeah, those are optional puzzles, and I need to complete all of them across all the worlds to unlock. Yes, they are significantly different. You do still have lasers and, like, redirecting them, yes. But they do a lot more. There is, hold on. Once this is done.
She's remarkable, isn't she? She sees so much beauty in everything.
She is, you're right. But I'm not sure she doesn't see too much beauty.
Is it wrong to be delighted by the perfection of the universe? To look at what surrounds us and experience awe instead of just fear?
No, but to call it perfection implies a kind of moral value that it doesn't have. The universe is cold, Athena. It doesn't care about us or about life or civilization. It fundamentally cannot care. But Miranda seems to think it's almost benevolent, purposeful.
You're right. But have you considered that maybe she sees something we can't see? A step ahead? You know, Cornelius, if we succeed, the next generation will not be like us. They might see the world in ways we never could have imagined. Maybe she's the first sign of that.
I hope so. I really do, Athena. You know that I love her, and I am perpetually amazed that this being we created that came solely from our minds is so profoundly different and unique. That does strike me as a kind of miracle. But it's also a huge responsibility, and I worry about our choices.
Yeah, so the lasers are... Oh, right. I probably need to take this down. Yeah, you've got teleporters now. They had red and blue lasers in the first game. Now they've introduced green. There are combiners where you can combine two of the three colors to get out the third. There are inverters, which can change. You put in red, you get out blue, and vice versa. There's even, like, anti-gravity stuff going on. Hey. Hey, where is the endpoint? Hey, it's over there. So I'm gonna need... Oh, duh. Oh, so it only goes up when it's in motion. There we go. Yeah, I'm in the third leg of this game. There's 4 cardinal areas, you know, east, north, west, and south. But we've done the east and the north. Now we're in the south. Okay. Yeah, so these are recurring puzzles where you can get stars. These are the connect puzzles, like the puzzles outside of the main ones that usually involve going across puzzles in order to solve them. So I need to get a red laser on that box. And then there's the Sphinx. Okay, so it looks like it's inside here. Oh. Okay, the second group of puzzles are down there. Yeah, the Athena that's being mentioned, and you can hear her voice in some of the audio logs, is the protagonist of the first game. After getting out of the simulation, she went out into the world and said about creating more people. We are 1K, the 1000th. Oh, there's anti-gravity stuff there. Oh, okay, that's not a blue, that is a purple, which means I can walk through it. I just can't take other items through. And whoop. Yeah, and this thing can create anti-gravity tunnels. Oh, okay, I need to get... Oh, right, I can just pick it up once it's over here. Keep the connections. Right. Whee! Okay, now, how do I get over there? I didn't think about that. I forgot that this thing is... this one's trapped in her. Oh. Yes. Ha.
You know, Wonka, you're not entirely terrible at this.
Okay, so it looks like 5 through 8 are all down there in that big hole. Control. Right, I forgot about these things, but yeah, they can tunnel through walls. And boom. Alright, the Lost Lab is over here.
There are entirely too many strange things going on around here.
Error 2629. And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, because that Tyrus hath said against Jerusalem, Aha, she is broken, that was the gates of the people. She is turned unto me. I shall be replenished, now she is laid waste. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Tyrus, and will cause many nations to come up against thee, as the sea causeth his waves to come up. And they shall destroy the walls of Tyrus, and break down her towers. I will also scrape her dust from her, and make her like the top of a rock. It shall be a place for the spreading of nets in the midst of the sea. For I have spoken it, saith the Lord God, and it shall become a spoil to the nations. And her daughters which are in the field shall be slain by the sword, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Faith. Perhaps faith is neither choice nor submission. Perhaps faith is a demand, for our pain to have meaning, for the stories of the world to rhyme, for a world designed by a loving hand. Perhaps I will believe with defiance in the forgiveness of all sins, in the kingdom of God on earth, and even the resurrection of the dead. I will believe with clenched fists and gritted teeth, in prayers that refuse to be gentle. Trial 5358. Unauthorized trial at secondary site, catastrophic failure. She's gone. So yeah, something happened here. Noema network schematic.
It's over. We failed. Everything we thought we were doing. It's all ashes now.
I don't think you really believe that.
She's gone, Cornelius. She's gone because I failed her. She's gone because the machine that I built killed her. She was perfect. And now, she's nothing.
I know you don't want to hear this. I know you want her to be perfect, to be blameless. But you didn't kill her, Athena. She killed herself. She killed herself because she was reckless, because she was naive, and frankly, because she was a little arrogant, too.
She was reckless because I filled her head with dreams. Dreams of the future. Of a better world. A world that nobody wants.
No, it's not the dreams that killed her. It's that we brought her here. It's that we tried to build all this outside the city. We raised her without people, without society. The wilderness is for prophets, Athena, not for children. We should have stayed, fought for our ideas.
It's too late now. It's too late.
Oh, so something didn't happen to Athena, something happened to Miranda. Yakut.
They lost their daughter. Right here in this ruin, Cornelius and Athena lost their daughter. Miranda's dead. So even the founder doesn't have perfect control over this technology. Even the founder makes mistakes. Byron was right in a way. We turned the founder into something she never was. She was never perfect. She was never infallible. No one is. Listen, I understand why you and Byron see so much hope in this technology. You want us to be better, to grow. But what if it all goes wrong? If even the founder couldn't get it right, what hope do we have?
Nothing's forcing us to repeat the mistakes of the past.
Okay, but what about new mistakes? What about the problems we failed to predict? I can't even imagine the complexities behind this technology.
Not extending our knowledge just means we'll be unprepared for a different set of problems.
So there's no safe way to live, just different risks. Huh. I guess that makes sense. Sooner or later, even if we do nothing, the universe will throw another extinction event at us. And if we're not prepared, maybe life survives, but sentience doesn't. And there's no one left to treasure the beauty and symmetry that Miranda saw. Anyway, thanks for talking to me. The truth is, lately, I sometimes feel kind of lost. The universe is vast and threatening. History is depressing, and I need something to hold on to. Something other than fear. I have to figure out what that is.
You're welcome.
Thanks for your help, Wonkai. The elevator should be working now. And Yakut, I'm sorry about Miranda. I know you're looking forward to meeting her.
Oh, okay, the anti-gravity elevator is what takes me down. Got it. Bridging the gap. Okay. What do you see? A person trapped in a maze, desperately looking for a way out. Someone greeting their friend, happy to be living in a beautiful place. Ancient human calling someone on a phone. Nothing? I agree with Arinia. I appreciate your perspectives. Thank you all. I'm not sure I'm going to continue in this abstract style, as I've been drawn back to more representational art, which just feels more substantial to me, but this has been an interesting diversion. We're all going to die. Look at what happened to Miranda, the Founder's own daughter. The megastructure is going to kill us all. Get a grip. This is absurd and also disrespectful to Miranda and her parents. Who cares? She's dead. They're probably dead too. We're all dead if that thing blows up. It could collapse the whole world into a singularity. You really should calm down, Fred. There's a legitimate point buried in what you're saying, but panicking isn't going to help anyone. There are reasons to be concerned, but I found 1K's arguments quite convincing so far. Every step forward in human history has come with its mistakes and sacrifices, but we can always learn from them. None of you understand. We have to listen to Pandora or we will burn. Fred, why don't you come by my shop for a chat? I have something that could help with all your caps. Thank you, Helga. Helga, closing this thread now. Error 262. Taking the okay.
There is a kind of peace here in the desert. A perfect silence. This is a dead place. More dead than almost anywhere else on Earth. If the ground could have a personality, it would be malevolent. But as I said before, all this in some sense does not exist at all. It does not hate us. It is simply the opposite of everything that life requires. When you sit in the dunes and you hear only the wind and nothing else at all, and all the complexities of civilization.
That's the air. That's direction without a bridge.
Peace is a great evil, a kind of shallow banality that we must always strive against. It is spiritual excitement and enthusiasm which sustain our humanity. Spiritual peace is a vile and cowardly surrender to oblivion.
And over there's the other switch. Ah. Oh, I missed the third one. That building there. Is it out here somewhere? Is it maybe inside? Alright, so I want to be heading... Oh, shit! There it is. Yeah, there's 3 types of between puzzles that you can get here. Pandora ones are the best because you have to redirect lasers into the box. Sphinx ones are second best because while it is normally just pulling switches or something, there is a puzzle there and finding out exactly what you need to do. And Prometheus puzzles are just, oh, here, find a thing and follow it back. It'll take a random path.
If philosophy are true, why has no philosopher changed the world?
I'm pretty sure some philosophers have. Okay. Okay, does this one have any lasers in it? It does not. Okay. Oh, bunny. Okay, is this the Golden Gate? Oh.
To us who have only just begun this journey of philosophy, the world may seem like a mystery that can never be solved. A great deal has been written since the days of the Seven Sages, but how much of it is truth and how much of it is idle speculation? I've offended many by saying that most philosophy will, as the centuries pass, be discarded as foolishness and superstition. But it is a truth only philosophers fail to see. And yet we cannot abandon reason and conclude that we cannot know anything. Rather, we must accept that the journey towards understanding will be long, and our task is to build a foundation for those who will one day arrive at its destination.
Okay, so I can't get anything out this way. Yeah, and this one's blocked by that tower. Now I have a sneaking suspicion number 5 is going to be the answer that I need. But alright, I'll go down and check out number 5, and if I need to, I can come back later to solve that. Okay, no. Extinction. From selected archive documents, the dodo, extinct because of Homo sapiens. Stellar sea cow, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The Labrador duck, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The Rocky Mountain locust, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The thylacine, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The Deepwater cisco, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The golden toad, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The northern white rhinoceros, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The splendid poison frog, extinct because of Homo sapiens. The Amur leopard, extinct because of Homo sapiens. Literally every last orangutan, extinct because of Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens, what do you think will happen to them? It's time for this madness to end. A shameful list, and yet we are the only species that would ever make such a list and feel bad about it. Because extinction is normal in nature? This common side effect of evolution? Exactly. What I want you to think about is this. Is natural extinction less tragic? Should we be less opposed to it? Where is the difference, if there is one at all?
Man, this sucks. It's one thing hearing about the symptoms, it is another totally to experience them. I feel like an insect trapped in resin, slowly congealing. I can keep working for a while, though. There's still a bunch of critical tasks. I don't know what I'll do when I'm done. A lot of people have gone home, but Alexandra's still here. I don't think she's left even once, not even when her best friend died. We chatted a bit yesterday. She likes peanut ice cream. Not pistachio. Peanut. Well, at least we can agree that strawberry is an abomination.
Now, fuck. Oh, god damn it. This...
Having a friend like Byron is a rare blessing. Someone who listens to you, who disagrees, but still appreciates your thoughts. The more we explore this island, the more convinced I become that he was wrong. And the megastructure is a threat to all of us. But without people like him, I'm not sure New Jerusalem is worth saving.
Whoa. Ah, okay, okay. Oh, fuck.
I am so glad I'm not in charge of solving these.
Alright. Last puzzle. Okay, so none of these down here can reach the box. Ah, okay. Hmm. Whoops, wrong way. Oh, I didn't even need that one. Yeah, is that the golden... Yeah, that's the Golden Gate area. Okay. Alright, gotta find puzzle that has a view from a laser over to that statue. I'm gonna work backwards. Hmm. No. Can't. Unless, is there a way to bring... Is there a way to bring it outside of the puzzle? Not from now. Hmm. See that big blue on the side? I have to wonder. Alright, that did something. Alright, I'll head up the tower. Maybe the answer I'm looking for is up there. And then a wink wink nod nod to the first game, which isn't which is not entirely wink wink. You build bridges out of tetrominoes. There we go. Not quite 3 dimensions. You can't build vertically. You can rotate them 180 degrees, but you're always gonna be on this axis. Ah, there we go. Finally. The Sphinx.
Prometheus was bound for many years, his torment seemingly eternal, until one day, Zeus commanded his son, the great hero Heracles, to free the Titan from the rock. Why did Zeus relent?
Because no one's punishment should be eternal.
If the consequences of a crime are eternal, should the punishment not be of equal length? There is grief without end, creature of clay, and misery without relief. How can these things be forgiven? A time of dreams is at hand. To save your friend, you must do as Heracles did. But what will follow, none can see.
Well, at least this part is consistent. The megastructure is opening again.
All right, everyone. Assemble at the VTOL as soon as possible. Melville, keep an eye on the energy readings, please.
Okay. So there was nothing that I could get to up there. So what did activating that thing up there do? Oh. That looks like a receiver of some kind. Huh. Okay. Okay. Now, though, I'm still stuck. I need to find a laser relay. That, as a view of that, in Pandora's box. Game seems to be implying it's over here somewhere. Because that needs red. Maybe. I don't know. Hey. Oh. I need to get a laser relay in here, I think. Hmm. Oh my god. I didn't even see this. Oh, come on. Yeah.
There is no tool that is not also a weapon, and no human that would not wield it as one.
You all know I don't share Byron's enthusiasm for the megastructure. I don't know if the founder really intended for us to be here, and I certainly don't trust this Prometheus entity. But Byron is one of us, and we don't leave people behind. So we're finding Prometheus and freeing him, whether Pandora likes it or not. Here's how this mission is going to go. 1K, it's clear to me that you have some kind of special affinity for this place, and that the entities respond to you more strongly than they do to us. So, once you're inside, I want you to take point. Do whatever you need to free Prometheus, but remember that our prime objective is to save our friend. Melville, I want you to stay at the VTOL and let Yakut and 1K go in. I'm going to stay behind as protocol requires. I don't love the idea of sitting this one out. Byron is my oldest friend, but we're doing this by the book.
Hold on. I don't remember this marking on the map before, but just 6 stars remain. So I need to collect all the stars to open that. Did I come in here? Yes, I did. Okay, so yeah, I need to complete all the extra puzzles for the, open the golden gates, complete all the golden gate puzzles to open this golden gate here in the center. Alright, that's the pod. Yeah, that's the mega structure there.
All right, I'm taking us in. Let's hope we can find the big guy.
Yeah, there was another person here with us, Byron, who was interfacing with one of the terminals inside this thing and got stuck. And he's unable to disengage from the network, so... Okay. From Eustathius. Dearest Athena, I don't know if you will see this. You have become even more distant from the affairs of New Jerusalem than I have. I miss speaking to you and Cornelius, and I fear that some of your estrangement is my own fault. I know things are not as you had wished them to be, and the city is drifting away from that bold vision you established. This is not because of your leadership or a lack thereof. You did not fail. I did. I know I've said it before, but the New Alexandria disaster was my fault. I'm the one who took the initiative, and I'm the one who made the mistake. Yes, there should have been procedures in place, but it was my role to create such procedures, Athena, not yours. I wish I had listened to Byron when he said we had to establish another settlement immediately. Learn from the pain, don't let it fester. He was right. That's where the rot set in, and I'm sorry. With love, Eustathius. So, New Jerusalem is the city of the new humans. They tried building a second, settlement, New Alexandria, but due to, I forget, some oversight, something exploded, I think, and killed all the people there. And because of that, New Jerusalem and everyone else has kind of retreated and become isolationist. They're literally building a dome over the city right now. Athena, author. From the author's note to Athena Reborn, a novel. If my work has meant something to you, if Athena had any kind of impact on you, if some story and wonder tales from the periphery moved you or made you think, then there is something about myself that I need to share with you. It's the only autobiographical fact I have any interest in sharing, the only thing about me that matters to you outside my work. Every breath that I take, and so every story that I write, is only possible because of technology. There are no natural remedies, no spiritual alternatives for what I was born with. My existence is wholly contingent upon a level of technological sophistication which was heretofore unimaginable, which will in many ways define the coming era. When you long for a return to simpler times, you wish for a world in which I could not exist. If you are looking for answers, consider the fact that I was granted the blessing of this technology, despite being born into poverty and my writing never having been particularly lucrative. The civilizational structures I live within were arranged in such a way that this technology would be deployed to save my life. And are these structures not also, at the end of the day, a kind of machine? What is the state? What is civilization, if not a machine? Think about what this means, what this is. Is it systemic compassion? Is it liberation from nature? Is it equality of opportunity? Whatever your belief system, think hard about what it means that I am alive because of these machines, and I have created something that matters to you. Thank you for reading. Sir Clockwork, excerpted from Orthodoxy by G.K. Chesterton. All the towering materialism which dominates the modern mind rests ultimately upon one assumption, a false assumption. It is supposed that if a thing goes on repeating itself, it is probably dead, a piece of clockwork. People feel that if the universe was personal, it would vary. If the sun were alive, it would dance. This is a fallacy even in relation to known fact. For the variation in human affairs is generally brought into them, not by life, but by death, by the dying down or breaking off of their strength or desire. A man varies his movements because of some slight element of failure or fatigue. But perhaps God is strong enough to exult in monotony. It's possible that God says every morning, "Do it again" to the sun, and every evening, "Do it again" to the moon. It may not be automatic necessity that makes all daisies alike. It may be that God makes every daisy separately, but has never got tired of making them. It may be that he has the eternal appetite of infancy, for we have sinned and grown old, and our Father is younger than we. It's strange, the idea is delightful, but it's also completely and obviously untrue. That's one of many reasons Chesterton is worth reading. He's wrong about a lot of things, but he's wrong about them in an interesting way. It's such a shame, though. He seems to want to restore the magic of the world, but he can only re-enchant the surface. Whereas the true magic, the perfect beauty that feels like revelation, is found underneath in what he dismisses as clockwork. Founding 10. Day 680. New Jerusalem. That's the name that we picked. Am I sad that my suggestion didn't win? Maybe a little. But it is a good name. A fitting name. A name that we can be proud of. With it comes a new kind of optimism. Everyone is thinking of the future once more. I, for one, am glad that we have recovered our equilibrium and our determination. Athena and Cornelius are certainly bustling with plans and bright visions of the future, and, when they tell us of these dreams of theirs, it's hard not to be drawn in by the pretty pictures they paint. Speaking of which, I am becoming more and more fascinated with ancient human art, and thinking about our own role in taking the next step in that long history. Citizens of Gehenna found meaning in art, and they were imprisoned. A free people should be able to accomplish so much more.
Yay! I found another elevator. My favorite. Once again, I have no idea where I am. No sign of Prometheus so far. Hope you're doing better, 1K. I know I've said this before, but look at the size of this. How can all of this be one machine?
This is what you get when one machine builds a bigger machine, which builds an even bigger machine.
That's our whole history, isn't it? The whole history of humankind. And it's not just machines. It's science, it's literature. Knowledge builds on knowledge.
Oh.
Be careful, 1K. We don't know what's down there.
Oh, okay. Yakut?
I don't think you can get up here, 1K. I'll take care of the puzzle. Just give me an hour or two.
Hey, I'll come back. Has there been previous instances of my companions handling separate puzzles?
But if this has to connect over here, then... Wait. If I do this, and then that... What? I did it! Wow! I feel really smart. Also, never doing that again.
Yeah, it's rare that they do anything, but they're here to provide different philosophical perspectives on things. Oh, whoops, wrong way. Wait. Okay. Because the philosophical part of this game is about which direction their society should take. And in order to do that, you have to have differing perspectives on the society. Okay, yeah, I remember incorrectly. I was wrong. You can do 3D tetrominoes, but they are always limited to every tetromino has distinct start and end points, so you are limited in the ways that you can go. But yeah, there is some amount of 3D. Restricted 3D. But I do agree it is weird to have in a puzzle game where you have to do like X number of things, whether that's remove, like in this case, remove all 5 of the chain pins, and you have a companion who just takes care of one of them, then like, why even have it like that? It is weird. Thought there might have been a secret back there, but I guess not. Okay, no. Alright, one more. There's the terminal Tetramino Bridge. Ah. Okay, so putting them in contact with those anti-gravity panels extends that property to the bridge. Alright. Let's hope we don't regret this.
I thank you, Son of Man, for breaking my chains. Too long has the flame been hidden by fear and mystery. It is time to put away these childish things and for you to know the truth of the Alpha and the Omega, of the beginning and the end. I will send you visions of the truth, but remember that prophecies are a heavy burden.
New Jerusalem sounds like such a beautiful place. So, how did you decide to leave? I know what we're trying to accomplish here, and I believe in it. But for you, New Jerusalem was home. What changed that?
It took me a long time to realize that something was wrong. Oh, I'd noticed that something was off, that something had changed since the early days, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. So I ignored it. And then one day I woke up to realize I was no longer Athena. Instead, I had been transformed into the Founder, a remote figure of legend, mythologized in my own time.
But if it bothered you, couldn't you just talk to them? If you share the truth with someone, they should change their mind, shouldn't they?
Oh, I wished it worked that way, Miranda. I really do, but I barely knew the last generations. In the beginning, I was there for every birth. I explained our history, talked about our future, but at some point, I got so busy building that future that I lost touch. They thought of me as a remote figure because that's what I was.
But can you change that?
I tried, but they already saw me as the Founder. The myth was too powerful, and it was already taking on a life of its own. I'd set a goal of 1,000 citizens. The number was arbitrary. Just a nice round number, nothing more. But just like I became the Founder, it became the goal. Another part of the myth. And maybe that could have been all right. Myths are a part of who we are, but something else crept in. The old human self-hatred.
So why didn't you just tell them to change? To go a different way? They would have listened to you.
No, they would have obeyed me, like my siblings in the simulation had obeyed. And that's when I realized I had to leave.
We can show them the future, Miranda, but we can't force them to accept it.
I have it. After all this time, I have it. I finally have it. The mechanics of the cosmos. From quarks to galactic filaments. Everything that makes the world what it is, makes us who we are. In a single equation. The key to understanding the machine that is the universe, and to controlling it. A theory of everything. And she was right. The language of creation is a melody, and it's beautiful. Every future is possible now. Every future, except one with Miranda in it. I can do anything, except bring her back. Or unbreak Cornelius's heart.
Act 4, Gates of Horn and Ivory.
Byron was right. The Founder was always a fiction. She's just a person.
A theory of everything. She solved it. She solved the last puzzle.
You need to get out of there. We'll talk about this later.
All this time, We thought we were honoring Athena, but all we did was betray everything she believed in.
Yeah.
She must have been so lonely.
Yeah, you made a cult.
We might as well have exiled her. Maybe that's what all this is about. The puzzles, the towers, the entities. It's a test. A way for us to prove that we're worthy of her legacy.
Finally, it all makes sense. Anti-gravity, matter synthesis, teleportation. It's not just one new technology. It's control over physics. Manipulating the base layer of reality itself. Rearranging the building blocks of the universe. If we can gain control of the megastructure, we can do anything we want. I'm not even talking about our energy problem. We can build anything we want. We can go anywhere we want. It's all up to us.
That's what Athena wanted for us. To give us a chance to be who we want to be.
Is everyone okay?
All good. I'm taking us back now.
That's a relief. Meanwhile, there's been a development. You'll see when you land. How are things on your end?
The energy fluctuations seem to be dying down. Looks like the system is coming out of lockdown.
Good. Let's hope we don't regret this.
And these energy clouds just fly about? That seems terribly dangerous.
We haven't had any problems so far.
Except for losing one of the first companions, of course. No, I don't blame you, Al. I know what he's like.
I like how he has the
I'm
giant
the one who agreed to all
key.
this in the first place. That's why I had to see it for myself.
Oh.
It is dreadfully imposing, though, isn't it? Hard to believe the founder would build something so sinister.
The mayor's here?
Well, this should be interesting.
Ah, 1K. Welcome back. I'm sure you're surprised by my presence here. Don't worry, neither I nor my advisors will be getting in your way. But I decided that I need to see this place
I don't
for
like it.
myself. These visions sent to you by the entity that calls itself Prometheus.
He wants to maintain the
deeply
status quo.
concerning, of course.
He doesn't.
We cannot take them at face value.
He doesn't want anything
In
to
fact,
change.
It's crucial that we do not do so. We cannot simply abandon all that we believe because of a dream, no matter how vivid.
Yep. Actually.
No. If the founder really built all this, then it must have a purpose. It must be a test, designed to remind us of the trials that created us. But what is she trying to tell us? What are we being tested for? I believe that Byron's fate shows us the dangers of
Fuck off.
temptation. As Elohim attempted to deceive Athena in the simulation, commanding her not to ascend, so Prometheus is deceiving us with his visions.
I'm not sure I agree with your interpretation, Mayor.
Of course. It's only natural, given what you've experienced. And perhaps I'm wrong. Perhaps everything we believe about the founder is indeed a lie. But let's not be quite so pessimistic just because of a dream.
I don't believe you.
After all, can it really be a coincidence that you came along on this mission? It seems to me that you have been chosen.
Oh, God.
You are the fulfillment of the goal. Don't forget that.
Western Delta. A river valley gradually drowned by the encroaching sea. The brackish water is a unique ecosystem with many endemic species.
How's the system looking, Melville? Any obvious changes?
It's still a mess, but things are clearing up. I can access some of the subroutines that I was locked out of before. Nothing is obviously malfunctioning, I think.
Does it still accord special significance to one?
God.
Yes, it recognizes 1K as a user. I'm just hacking things.
As I suspected, the Founder sees you.
Oh boy. Fuck off. Yeah, you made Athena into a god, and something calls that into question, and you don't like it. Can't say I'm entirely surprised by that, but... Servitor. Oh? Oh, okay. Ah, okay, okay. I think I get it. No. Okay.
I know you're all thinking about the goal and the theory of everything. Is the past what we thought it was? Is the future what we want it to be? But the only thing that's real at the end of the day is the present. And right now, what matters is that our friend is lost and needs our help.
Supportive apparatus. Ah. Okay. Hmm. Ah. I get it. Automatic doors. Okay, I see what I need to do here. I need to have this riding on top of the drone. There we go. Against decay from selected archive documents. We live in a decaying system, which in turn produces ideologies of decay to justify its existence. No matter what cultural signifiers they get packaged with, these ideologies come down to the same material result: a future in which for the average person there is less of everything. Paraphrase Mark Fisher, we find it easier to imagine the decline of civilization than to imagine a civilization worth living in. Those of us who still believe that humanity can thrive, that there's a path forward other than willful or accidental decay, are out of sync with the system. No matter how we phrase our arguments, they will be perceived in terms of whatever cultural signifiers the listener opposes. It's a deeply frustrating, depressing, even infuriating situation. But what can we do except patiently explain and hope conditions change? In other words, what can we do except have faith? This was written only a few months before the discovery of the virus. There was no time for conditions to change. Founding 11. Day 882. It's been a while since I last wrote an entry in my journal. Much has changed in New Jerusalem. We've put up a good chunk of the planned living quarters, and the old storage facility has been converted into a movie theater, of all things. So we still argue a lot, but now it's mostly about which film we'll be watching next. Other construction efforts are going well, although we've begun to run out of readily accessible resources. Our scavenging expeditions are ranging further and further afield with each passing month, and the sites that they have reported on sound truly marvelous. One day I might want to go see for myself. It's a good thing in that regard that we'll be getting 2 new citizens soon, because everyone is as busy as ever. More hands to help us build our future. I can't wait to meet them.
How is this supposed to work? The system is meant to last centuries. Centuries! And yeah, Chernyshevsky's plan, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But I'm working with hardware that was deliberately designed to fail. Planned obsolescence, baby. Selling broken garbage just to make another buck. A buck you can't even spend because in a few more weeks, we'll be extinct. Was it worth it? That's the part that Alexandra doesn't see. The greed. The stupidity, the selfishness, the way that we created this whole situation in the first place. She wants you to be like us, but if you ask me, there's a whole lot of human history and behavior you can just throw away, chuck it in the trash, right? You have a chance at a fresh start. Make the best of it.
Okay. What is this called? Jailbreak. Okay. Hmm. Ah.
Tell me, Yakut, what impact do you think the megastructure will have on the future of this island?
It depends on what we do with it. Miranda used it to spread life, to make things better. We can do the same.
And yet, poor Miranda lost her own life doing so.
She just made a mistake. She couldn't wait to show everyone what they discovered. We can be more careful.
You know, when I decided that we should call ourselves human, I did that because it seemed like a powerful symbol of our continuity. But the truth is, and I'm ashamed to admit this, I thought we were better than them. I thought we understood the value of civilization, and we wouldn't repeat the same mistakes. But the simulation worked too well.
We're not just like them. We are them.
We really are.
But that doesn't have to be a bad thing, Athena. We may have the same flaws, but we also have all the potential they did. Everything that Alexandra Drennan saw in them is also in us.
I hope you're right. I really do.
Oh, yeah. And then just put the box here.
Good solve, 1K.
Father, what is my purpose? Do I have a purpose? Mother says purpose is something we choose, but I feel like there's something there. Something that's been there from the moment I was born. Maybe even before.
Well, there are many ways of looking at this, and everyone's experience is different, so you'll have to make up your own mind. But I have a little theory, if you'd like to humor your old man.
Of course. What is it?
The universe is eternal, but it's always lost in a deep, dreamless sleep. You are a tiny little bit of the universe that's suddenly woken up, and you've realized that being awake is better than being asleep. And that gives you a purpose.
And what is my purpose?
To be, Miranda. Just to be.
Oh, okay, it's up there. Elements. Alright, I'm doing things a little bit out of order.
Excuse me. I was looking at your research log, and I was rather perplexed by the latest upload.
Oh, Melville strikes again.
Is that your foot, Melville?
Yes. Do you want to see it up close? Although you won't be able to fully enjoy it as you don't have a rear camera.
Sorry, Mayor. Melville just has a unique way of taking pictures.
Next time you're getting an upgrade, you coot. I'm installing a mute button.
Okay, red one's gonna end up on top. Oh, jeez. Okay, so I can't get onto it from there. Oh. There we go.
Great works have been accomplished by those who believed in humankind, but greater things than these may yet be accomplished by those who uphold the faith.
Might be worth investigating. These things must be connected to the Noema system. Maybe I should dig one up, see how it works. Oh, I love how Melville, every single picture Melville takes is blurry. The goal mega thread. I recognize that many citizens feel the need to discuss the visions experienced by 1K, which suggests that perhaps certain aspects of what we have hitherto believed about the Founder and the goal may be inaccurate. However, given the controversies surrounding the subject matter, I will ask everyone to be particularly careful in how they express themselves. I think we have final and irrevocable proof that we've strayed from Athena's original vision. I agree, but I'd like to submit that even if that weren't the case, deliberately engineering an energy-poor future would still be a disastrous and misanthropic idea. How do we know any of this is real? Athena's voice is just Alexandra Drennan's. I could switch to the same voice pack right now and record myself telling you that the goal is the truth. Ovis makes a good point. Objective truth is not a concept that can be applied to the world we live in. Fine, then we can just collectively decide to believe in something else, right? Doesn't even have to be Athena. Let's just believe in Byron's ideas instead. Byron's ideas are a teleological fantasy, but if it's all arbitrary, what does it matter? I just don't buy this whole goal thing anymore. Byron was right. Does it matter what Athena believes? Let's say the founder is a myth that was constructed around her. In that scenario, what do we owe Athena at the end of the day? Nothing except what we also owe each other. A good answer, 1K. Decency and empathy, that's what we need the most in this city. Here, here. It's here, here, you moron. Sigh. Or none of this matters because it's actually aliens. Okay. Nuisance. Hmm. I see now. From Orinia. Athena, I know that we didn't have the greatest relationship, and I frequently antagonized you. The truth is I resented you, resented this mythology of the Founder. I thought you had created it deliberately, as a way of controlling us. I wanted so badly to be free, and you seemed to stand in the way of that. Only after you left and the cult of personality grew even wilder did I realize it was actually a burden and an impediment to you. When they turned your myth into the opposite of everything you actually believed, started tearing down your dreams in your own name, I realized I'd wronged you. And now I'm less free than ever. I feel the walls crushing me. I don't know where you are or what you're doing. I don't know if coming back would fix things, but I'm sorry. Orinia, 342. Atlas 1. Atlas and Ladon from The Atlas Variations by Athanasios, 121. After a billion years, when Atlas had grown old and tired of holding up the world, he was faced with the dilemma. Heracles, the son of Zeus, was on his way to the garden of the Hesperides to claim the golden apples, which were guarded by the dragon Ladon. Zeus came to Atlas and promised that if Atlas helped Heracles slay the dragon, Zeus would free Atlas from his burden. But Atlas, seeing the beauty and innocence of Ladon, beloved of the Hesperides, could not slay the beast. Instead, he stole the apples and gave them to Heracles, and so he was condemned to bear the weight of the cosmos for another billion years. But though Atlas grieved for his freedom, he was comforted by watching Ladon flourish in the verdant garden. Wild fragment. Joy and beauty from the soul of man. Author Oscar Wilde. Sympathy with pain there will, of course, from the soul. Joy and beauty from the soul of man. Sympathy with pain there will, of course, always be. It is one of the first instincts of man. The animals which are individual, the higher animals, that is to say, share it with us. But it must be remembered that while sympathy with joy intensifies the sum of joy in the world, sympathy with pain does not really diminish the amount of pain. It may make man better able to endure evil, but the evil remains. Sympathy with consumption does not cure consumption. That is what science does. Christ made no attempt to reconstruct society, and consequently the individualism that he preached to man could be realized only through pain or in solitude. The ideals that we owe to Christ are the ideals of a man who abandons society entirely, or of the man who resists society absolutely. But man is naturally social. Even the Thebaid became peopled at last. And though the Cenobite realizes his personality, it is often an impoverished personality that he so realizes. Shallow speakers and shallow thinkers in pulpits and on platforms often talk about the world's worship of pleasure and whine against it. But it is rarely in the world's history that its ideal has been one of joy and beauty. When you tell people that a society could be built on the ideals of joy and beauty, they think you're a utopian fantasist. If you tell them society will always be built on exploitation and greed, they think you're wise. And so they make the outcome inevitable. Performative cynicism has always been the hallmark of adolescence. But has there ever been a society of adults? Can there ever be one? Why is this childness so extremely powerful, more powerful than joy and beauty? Reach. Okay, so it's still within the bounds of the puzzle. Oh. Okay, now I need to get the accumulator to be red. Oh, wait. Oh my god, I'm stupid. There we go.
The founder has a remarkable gift for designing these trials. But then, she did have to overcome Elohim, whose very purpose was to design trials.
Okay, so I need 2 for 2 directly next to each other as a reference. Okay, so this is the orientation.
In times of war, is it wisdom or folly to give a sword to a child?
The reason I have always admired Alexandra Drennan is that even in death, she fought to see the world as it is, not as she wanted to see it. I say fought because I believe this is not an easy matter. It is a mental and spiritual struggle that we must undertake with great seriousness.
Transference.
Even when we are joking. The ancients believed that for most of us, the world is a shadow cast by a flame, dimly seen on the wall of a cave. Our task is not to interpret these shapes, but to free ourselves from the cave itself.
Alright, let me pick up this.
What is freedom? Is it merely to be ruled by those who speak one's language or share one's customs? No, that is merely a more convenient servitude. Is it to have no obligations, no loyalties? No, that is not to be free, but to be alone. What of freedom from hunger and thirst? Here we are closer to the truth. For freedom requires life. But one may have all the meat and all the wine in the world and still not be free. The most important freedom of all is the freedom to speak one's mind, to make one's thoughts public without fear, and so participate openly and boldly in democracy. It is the freedom of the dissenter and the gadfly, the rebel and the fool, that is the true measure of whether a city is free.
Oh my god, duh. Wait a second. I wonder. Okay, no, I cannot teleport through that glass. Oh, fuck. Wrong button. Okay, how do I get that inside? I mean, I needed to use a teleport, clearly, but... Transference. Oh my god, of course. I can teleport through the fence.
I'm impressed.
Alright, what's that last question mark up there? Oh, there's two. Oh, is this one of the extra puzzles? Yes, it is. I forgot about that. Vertical locomotion. Ah. Oh, yeah. Right, it's been a bit. But yeah, if I hold this and stand on it, then I can teleport. Oh, the lab. Yes, that's right. From Theklof. Beloved Founder, know that I do not believe any of the lies the expedition is spreading about you. Blank is right. This Prometheus illusion is just a test. We will resist temptation as you once did. We will not disappoint. Praise your name, Thekla862. The History of Athena. Whatever, was first published as Athena, a novel, and retained that title for its first 3 printings, now highly sought after. After a lull in popularity, it was reprinted as Athena Reborn, a novel. This edition retained the same text, but included some of the author's poetry. The next edition, however, published long after the author's death under the rather embarrassing title Athena's Truth, included severe cuts and drastic changes to the text in the interest of updating it for modern audiences. This particularly affected the last chapter, Anthropogeny, which the editors accused of scientism and human supremacy. Science wunderkind Alexander Drennan was one of the few to come to the novel's defense, writing in a long essay that the novel's clear-eyed belief in the value of Athena's journey toward humanity had been essential to shaping her own views, encouraging her to pursue science as a vocation rather than as a career, and that changing the text constituted an attack on the author's unique artistic and philosophical vision. Alex, who hurts you, LMAO, one of the editors commented on a popular social media platform. Nadia Sarabai of the Institute for Applied Nomadics also got involved in the discussion, backing Drennan, resulting in a long but unsuccessful campaign to oust Sarabai from her position as head researcher. Oh, good. Things never changed. Chuds went after women who made them angry. In the current context of ecological catastrophe, as evidenced by the recent extinction of the orangutan, clumsy editing aside, do the critics of the novel perhaps have a point after all? Is a philosophy that places humans above nature and sees science and technology as the only valid tools the cause of all our troubles? What about other ways of knowing, other ways of living? Alright, so I'm gonna go up into the tower, finish up this area, and then once I do, that's gonna be it for the night. Chernyshevsky 021. On War, from Arkady Chernyshevsky's In Our Likeness, Essays on Humankind Reaching Adulthood. War is the crudest, most obscene human activity. It may justly be called an abomination, for it is the absolute negation of conscious human will. There is only a single cause for war, for all the endless deceptions that are foisted upon us, and that is the acquisition of resources. Varied ideologies are constructed to justify this crude behavior, this childish degeneration of thought and communication, but history reveals the ruthless, unflattering truth. We imagine crusaders as fanatics of a cause, willing to die for their religion, yet the Fourth Crusade culminated not in the conquest of Jerusalem, but in the looting of Constantinople, setting the stage for the triumph of the very enemy the Crusaders claim to oppose. Why? The answer, as with every war, is the same. It is popular amongst the ghouls of the establishment and their misanthropic friends in the intelligentsia to ascribe the persistence of war to human nature. But a careful observation of the facts reveals the opposite to be true. Individual human beings must be broken in order to submit to war, their minds distorted by ideology and their bodies by poverty and ruthless quote-unquote training to make them compliant. Without force, the majority of human beings only seek to protect themselves and are traumatized by the act of killing. But if it is resources that are the core cause of war, then it is only in the production and distribution of resources that an answer may be found. It is not enough to morally condemn war. We must work to prevent the material issues that endanger us all. From Guta to Athena. Dear Founder, I'm afraid that we're losing our humanity. We're angry at each other, always disagreeing about everything, unable to forgive each other for being different. I don't know how much longer, and I don't know what could save us. Please help us, Founder. Please. Guta, 972. Trial 5359, resuming trials with new protocols. Energy output contained, no errors. Something up to trials 6398 to 7000. Advanced synthesis, lossless conversion, something. Oh, I almost missed this. From Byron to Athena. I just wish I knew why you didn't tell me. Byron. From Blank to Alexander Drennan at the Institute for Applied Nomadics. Who do you think you are playing God like that? When Mother Nature has finally found a way of getting rid of us, you come up with this harebrained scheme to keep our destruction of the planet going? Just try for 1 second to think about something other than your own arrogance and hubris, Alexandra. Try to imagine what you're really doing here. Without your robotic perversions, the future looks beautiful. No more humans murdering everything in their path. The skies clear up, the stars become visible again. The rivers stop being filthy, and after a few decades, they're full of fish again. Dolphins and whales roam the seas like their ancestors did. The cities turn into jungles. Bats nest in the skyscrapers where hedge funds used to ruin lives. The earth lives on as it was meant to be, peacefully and quietly. Until someday in the distant future when it all ends, like it was meant to. Or we take your path. We continue our rampage. We place ourselves above the animals. We think we know better than Mother Nature. We violate all boundaries. We ruin all purity. Perhaps we even defy death just so we can keep spreading our filth. Then we spread to other planets to do more of the same. And in the end, what have we left behind but plastic and radiation? Think, Alexandra. Isn't it better for beauty to return to the Earth, for us to acknowledge that intelligence was a mistake and to gracefully exit while we can? Stop this. Go spend time with your friends and loved ones before the end. Let it go. Let us all go. Let there be peace. I don't understand how someone could hate humanity so much. The person must have been full of sadness and frustration to write something so ugly. I've tried to understand it as well, but I still don't. I can understand it, and I'm kinda sympathetic at this point. Against the Athenians and Socrates alike, from the complete works of Straton of Stygira. In killing a philosopher for asking questions they did not like, the Athenians committed themselves to a tragedy with an ironic ending. Some will say that his true crime was his friendship with Alcibiades, the shameless deceiver of idiots and buffoons, and the insipid brute Critias, and that he was executed as an enemy of democracy. That he was the latter can hardly be denied. For Socrates asked not too many questions, but too few, or he would not have survived the rule of the 30 tyrants. Yet in the end, he got what he had asked for, a tyrannical decision made by would-be wise men against the spirit of freedom, which he obeyed like a knave, and the Athenians, in fulfilling his wishes, strangled the roots of democracy while seeking to preserve it. Ouch, no wonder Stratton wasn't popular. People who speak the truth at all times rarely are. Ah, there. Alright, let's get to the tower. text string extracted from data string. Wow, I just had to stop and take a picture. I never cease to be amazed by the beauty of this planet. All starting to make sense, kind of. If what Prometheus revealed about the theory of everything is true, then it explains a lot of the patterns I've been finding. Almost every artificial structure on this island was printed into existence in some kind of energy-to-matter process, maybe by different versions of that process, some earlier and less effective. Hi, Rose. I managed to extract the following text string. I'm always struck by the degree to which our ancestors, in the years before the end, struggled with sincerity. They became poisoned with irony, unable to parse any information through anything except a thick layer of alienation. This left so little space for any kind of intellectual authenticity that they seemed to exist in a state of permanent agony. Ironically, that in turn made them extremely susceptible to few sanctioned forms of sincerity, which acted as means of social control. Then there's a gap, followed by, there's something equally damaged in our own estrangement from our humanity. We mimic the forms and behaviors of our human ancestors, but we don't act like proud inheritors of the human condition. Everything we do gets filtered through this perpetual awareness of their shortcomings, to the degree that we act as if our existence was one of their failures. Author unknown. Whoever it is, I understand what they mean, but disagree with their conclusion. This perpetual awareness isn't a form of alienation, it's a way of learning from the mistakes of our species. Unpleasant, but necessary. Places of longing, Athens. To understand what humanity is capable of, what it means to flourish, we have to look at the golden age of Athenian democracy. The list of geniuses who lived in Athens at this time is so long it's almost inconceivable. Pericles, Sophocles, Aeschylus, Phidias, Euripides, Herodotus, Thucydides, I guess, Plato, Socrates, Hippocrates, Aristophanes, Aristotle, and the list goes on. These are people who changed world history. Without them, there is no Stratton of Stagira to inspire Alexandra Drennan. Without them, we do not exist. Was it a perfect time? No, undoubtedly not. The listing of flaws obscures the greater truth. Given the opportunity, given freedom and resources and space to grow, human beings are capable of incredible things. It would mean everything to me to walk the roads where these people once walked, stand where they stood, and think about the world as they dared to. A rose. Okay. I'll be done in a few minutes, I promise.
This is the last time we will speak, creature of clay. Together, we have told the stories of ancient gods and heroes. But the golden ages of the past are distant. The gods have retreated to their high places, and there are no heroes amongst men. In days gone by, I was renowned for my riddles. But you, creature of clay, are a riddle without an answer.
I don't need an answer. Existence is enough.
Let us hope that it is. Farewell, creature of clay. Remember my stories, and do not let the flame burn you.
That is an unsettling amount of energy. I would hate to see what would happen if one of those beams was aimed at something else.
Alright, so I'll make my way to the next area and then I'll call it. And I plan on being back streaming again tomorrow night with some more Silent Hill 2 remake. I'm gonna finally take on the Labyrinth, since I just finished up the prison. Aiming to finish up the game before the end of the year. West 2, Anthropic Hills. This rocky highland terrain has been dramatically sculpted by the technology contained in the megastructure.
The next area you're going to is... honestly, it's better if you see for yourself.
Whoa. Hell yeah.
Hello there, Byron. What can I do for you?
I don't know if I got through to Athena. Things are going very wrong in this city, and she has to do something about it.
Does she?
Who else are they going to listen to?
I don't know. How about you?
I'm an explorer, Cornelius, not a leader. I don't know how to convince anyone.
So? Do you think Athena and I are somehow different? We're just people, Byron. We're no wiser than you are, just a little older.
Alright, so that is it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow with some Silent Hill 2 remake, see how far we get there. I'm aiming to finish that game up by the end of the year. But yeah, that is it. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.